Have you ever gone to put a piece of work into your vise on your workbench and it just doesn't quite fit? Maybe a curved piece of a chair or something that's just the wrong shape, or you want to get it up a little higher so you can do some fine detailed work on it? Well, the folks at Benchcrafted have developed something called the Hi Vise. It's based on drawings of old vices from a long time ago. I'm not exactly a vice expert, but what this vise does is, rather than being built in and integrated to your standard woodworking workbench, it's actually totally separate. So you build it as a standalone unit and then you can clamp it or attach it to your workbench as you need. So obviously this provides clamping ability or vise ability in places where you might not otherwise have it. But the reason this thing is called the Hi Vise is it's specifically designed to raise your working height up off your workbench. So most workbenches are 800, 900, something like that, which is a great height for using a hand plane, but not necessarily a great height for doing really fine dovetail cuts or cleaning out some really fine hand joinery. And so this vise gives you the ability to raise your work up to a more comfortable level, especially for that detailed work. So this is the beast of which I speak. This is the Hi Vise. Basically, Benchcrafted provide the metal components, the screw, the handle, the crisscross component in the center here, and you build all the wooden stuff. Now, they provide pretty detailed plans with exact cut locations and the size of the hole, the depth of the bores that you need, and it's all imperial. So I went ahead and converted that all to metric, somewhat incorrectly, messed up a few things along the way and then had to fix them. So thanks for that, North America. I got there in the end, and it is a solid piece of woodworking machinery. The joinery is important. It has to be strong. Obviously, this is a vise. It's designed for holding work firmly. If your joins are loose or sloppy, your vise is not going to stand up to the amount of force that you're going to exert on it. It can be built in a couple of configurations. I've built this with the clamping screw, which allows you to mount this on basically any work surface. There's a lot about this build that you can modify to your particular requirements. So you can change how wide the jaws are. You can change how tall those jaws are off the screw. You can affect how much space you have between this screw foot and your arms, depending on what bench it's going to go on and what kind of use you're going to give it. So I've created this with quite a large distance here between the arms and the screw foot, which means, one, I can put this on all of my workbenches, some of which are made from essentially pallet racking, which has a really high depth of rail, so I need that distance. But the other advantage is I can put this on thinner workbenches with a spacer or two in here to raise the height even further to give me more of that good eye-level access for detailed work. This bench top is only 50mm thick, so I think with my configuration, if I wanted to sit it on the bench top itself, I just have to use a block underneath and then tighten that up. And that's firmly set at that height. However, if I do want it higher, like I said, I can just place that spacer above instead of below. This just gives you a higher work surface to clamp awkward objects. It's often used by luthiers or chair makers or people that are having to deal with unusual shaped bits of timber that they need to do detailed work on. The core of the vice mechanism are these Criss-Cross Arms. Benchcrafted use a few different versions of these in their vices, and what they do is allow those faces to stay parallel. It's all just detailed in the build instructions, so they go through where to put those mortises, how deep to put them and so forth. All of the screw components go through their own nuts here, which are really nice and smooth, and as you can see, the movement on this is really smooth and free-flowing, which is nice. You treat this like any other fine woodworking tool, so you want to keep it oiled, keep it away from moisture, etc. So obviously this is pretty versatile. I've seen photos of people attaching it to the tailgate of their car or van if they wanted to do some woodworking while out in the forest, which isn't something that I've done a whole lot of, but seems to be that people do. It can also hold stuff which is not exactly parallel. There's enough flexibility in the jaws to be able to accommodate curved pieces and slightly angled pieces, which is really nice. The crubber, the cork rubber stuff here protects work and also just provides a slightly firmer holding surface, so that's a nice feature, and all of that comes with the kit. The handle here has a little nice indent, which means it registers in the center and stays there for a nice balanced, fast spin in and out, and you can move that from that registered point to get more leverage if you need. That's basically it for this introduction on the Hi Vise. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to click like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll have plenty more videos coming up for you.